Hi, my name is Scott, and this instructional video is going to be on the Med-Lite Basic Bed Series. When you get the bed, it's going to come in two boxes. Box 1 is going to have head section, foot section, electronics. Box 2 is going to have foot section, footboard, and drive shaft. Also the casters. When you have everything pulled apart, getting ready to assemble, there's going to be 3 black bars that are in the frame that are designed for shipping. We have 2 straight bars, one at each end where the headboard and footboard are going to connect, and one in the head section where they're going to join in the middle as well. All of the black bars come off the bed. Once we have all the shipping bars pulled off, we're going to put the casters in the headboard and the footboard, and the ideal way is to put locking casters on opposite ends, on opposite corners. So right head section is going to be a locking, left foot section is going to have a locking. They are a simple grip ring threaded, or grip ring non-threaded insert, and they slip in to the black leg inserts. Just that simple. Okay, now, once we have the casters inserted, we're going to go ahead and insert the main deck pieces together. This is going to be accomplished by bringing the beds together at about a 90-degree angle. Have it attached, and it works on a hook button kind of application. So, we align the hook to the button, and once you have the connection, then you simply rotate the frame so that they're flat. Now, we use the head section at this point as a kickstand. That way, once you have the bed frame laid out, it's not going to tip over on you. Next step is we're going to attach the head section, or the headboard and footboards. And we do this room. Take the head section now, or the headboard. Now, as we attach this, we're going to tilt the bed and lay it flat. So that means the bed deck's going to be at an angle. When we do this, make sure that the head section itself doesn't collapse on you and hurt your hands. So we come in at an angle. Line it up. And again, it works on the same principle of a hook and a button. Tilt that, and we simply tilt the bed down at an angle. We come back to the foot section. Same exact thing. Once that's in, 90% of the bed is assembled. At this point, we're going to bring the motor section in. The motor section for the basic series, it's a motor block that houses the head motor and the foot motor all in one component. There's a set of gates on top. They come off, And as you are going to assemble it, you're going to see there's a little imprinted insignia on each end that tells you where this motor goes. So we have a head section and a foot section. Once we have the motor assembly attached, and you'll hear it click, we're going to go to each end, put these caps back on, slide them into place. That is the assembly of the motor. We of course have the electronics. So we have the pendant, and the power cord. At this point, we just need to prep the high-low motor to accept the shaft and attach it to the foot section. Reach through, and on the front of the motor, or the side that's closest to you, it's going to accept this plug. So you reach in, you align it, you press it in. It's that simple. On the foot section, we're going to attach the high-low motor to the footboard. There's also a cap. This comes off, but don't get rid of it. It can also be used on the front of the footboard because it's not a semi-electric. Semi-electric will have a crank. There's a cap just like this. Keep a hold of it just in case you need one in the future. The high-low motor has got a spring-loaded connecting bar. Got a little J-shaped groove cut into it, or trough. You simply reach down, push in, let that spring assembly push the connector out, align the shaft. You may have to grab hold of it and do a little manual adjusting, but it falls into place. Once we have that assembled, then we go for the drive shaft. The drive shaft is a two-piece square shaft. It's the only square shaft on the bed. Telescoping bar. There are marks where it's going to be adjustable. The same drive shaft works on all of our home care beds. And it's adjusted for full extended, semi-extended. So you pull it out till it's full. There's a spring-loaded section, or a spring-loaded end, and a solid end. It doesn't really matter which side of the bed that portion of the shaft is on. My personal preference is to put the spring-loaded end towards the motor. What we do is simply align it. We can raise the foot or the head section. Align. Make sure that the shaft from the gearboxes are inside the slots. We set it back down. And at this point, we have a completely assembled bed. You simply put it where you need it, apply a mattress and or the rails if you need. There are half rails and full rails. There are the center of the bed. There is a section of pins that join the head section and foot section. It's very, very common to overlook these, which I almost did. They work very similar to a fishhook or a door latch. You simply pull the springs together. Now we raise the head section just to take some of the tension off of the springs. But you simply put the hooks through to join the mesh. And that's all there is to it. Now there should be no distinction between the head section and the foot section as far as the spring deck goes. Now, what we have now is headboard, footboard attached, and the headboard and footboard are actually, they're annotated, they're named, so that there's no mix-up. If you were to put them on backwards, the result would be when you hit the up button, the bed would go down. You hit the down button, the bed would go up. That's the only thing that would cause that effect. So if you see that, simply swap the head and the footboards. But now we have the frame attached, the motor, the high-low motor, headboard and footboard. If you have any questions, please call Medline's support desk. Thanks, and have a great day. Hi, my name is Scott, and this instructional video is going to be on the Medlight Basic Bed Series. When you get the bed, it's going to come in 2 boxes. Box 1 is going to have head section, foot section, electronics. Box 2 is going to have foot section, footboard, and drive shaft. Also the casters. When you have everything pulled apart, getting ready to assemble, there's going to be 3 black bars that are in the frame that are designed for shipping. We have 2 straight bars, one at each end where the headboard and footboard are going to connect, and one in the head section where they're going to join in the middle as well. All of the black bars come off the bed. Once we have all the shipping bars pulled off, we're going to put the casters in the headboard and the footboard, and the ideal way is to put locking casters on opposite